Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's vlog where we are going to focus on dementia caregiving. And I wanted to do it as a vlog instead of as a sit-down video because I feel like there's a lot of misperceptions about practically what it looks like to care for someone who has dementia. Let me say at the outset, I use the word caregiver with full understanding that I am not actually a full-time caregiver for mom. I am more of a project manager, and that is due to the fact that we are wildly fortunate that she had the possibility of living in a wonderful assisted living facility. For many, many, many Americans, it's not possible due to Medicaid cuts, finances, a variety of different reasons. We're actually horrible to our elderly in this country. So when I say I'm mom's caregiver, I'm not a caregiver in the sense that she's living at our house or I'm taking care of her 24 hours a day. I do, however, consider myself her project manager. We just got done with a very big move. We moved her from Arizona, where she has lived for the last 20, longer than that. I can't remember how long she lived in Arizona. When was I in the 8th grade? Because that's when we moved to Arizona, and now I'm 55. So I'll let you do the math. Many, many, many years to being closer to us here in Georgia. I'm going to talk throughout this vlog about why we made the move, what the move was like, the help we got along the way. I hope this is helpful if you're walking through this journey with a loved one, or if you're just kind of curious as to what your world looks like when you are responsible for someone who is suffering from dementia. I'll talk more about the particulars, the details, all the things. But if you're new here, I'm Jen. I do want to say I want to paint this in a light that is not depressing. Mom still has a lot of great memories to make. We are overjoyed that she's close near us, and we consider it an honor that we get to be with her during this last chapter of her life. So this is not going to be a depressing vlog. I don't want you to worry, but I do hope to share some resources, some challenges, maybe help you feel not alone, or if you're just starting this journey, maybe help you to see some hope. So yeah, let's get into it. Right now I am headed to a dental appointment for myself, and then I am running over to mom's. She may have a nail appointment today. If she doesn't, we're going to go furniture shopping. And throughout the course of this vlog, I'm not going to share much, if anything, of mom, because I only have the rights to my own story and I never want to exploit her. But she may want to be in it. You never know with her. She's the queen, so we'll let her decide what she wants to do. And now I'm off to the dentist. Oh my gosh, I did not film at all today. And it's like 5 o'clock, but real quick. So I don't know where I left off in my story about like why we moved mom. Suffice it to say, she was not in a good situation. And I'm not gonna give any specifics about where she was, but I knew we had to move her. Okay, so I worked with Kathy at Senior Living Solutions. I'm gonna put her business information down in the description box if you are in the Atlanta area and you're looking for help. The way it works is you reach out to these placement agencies. You don't pay anything. They're paid by the communities. They ask you a ton of great questions. At least Kathy did. I can't vouch for all of them. I can only vouch for my experience. And then they make recommendations. And Kathy's been working in this space for 9 years in this area. So she knows all of the best places. She chose the place she chose for mom, which I'm not going to name for privacy reasons, but specifically because they don't have high turnover. The staff that's been with them has been very consistently with them for a long time. It has more of like almost a care home feeling about it because it's on the smaller side. I toured 3 different places, and and I really prayed, seriously prayed, that I would instantly feel like the one that was for her was for her. So we chose it. It's beautiful. It's a little like a studio plus apartment. And right now I want to give a huge shout out to Boll & Branch Sheets. Y'all know this is not a sponsored video. I am an affiliate partner with them. I have worked with them for a long time. I reached out and told them what was going on with mom, and they were like, what do you need? And they sent me the most beautiful bedding. And when I tell you, she has mentioned it like 5 times. Like, I can't believe how beautiful my bed is. One time she was like, what are these sheets made of? These sheets are amazing. So I got her the signature sheet set and the signature comforter set. I think it's called Meadow is the pattern. I will link what I bought her below. I'll also show you some footage here of it all set up before she moved in. Just, I cannot say enough good things about this company. Like, not only is my entire house now outfitted with them, not only have I been a customer since long before they started working with me, but also the kindness of the affiliate team and the way that they were so, like, we weren't even doing a partnership and they sent all the stuff. So I'm saying we did do an Instagram partnership, but we weren't doing a YouTube collaboration this month. So all that to say, thank you, Boll and Branch. Ethical, sustainable. I'm just going to shout them out even though it's not a sponsored video, but they do have a sale going on. So check the link in the description box, because the sale, there's a $300 minimum for the 20% off unless you have my link and my code, and then you get the 20% off with no minimums. And I just love their stuff. So getting her all set up, I'm getting to a point. Getting her all set up was quite the ordeal. There was lots of furniture ordered, lots of furniture sent back. Bless Scott LaForge, lots of furniture put together, because we're working with like smaller apartment-sized furniture. But today, and they're crying because they want to be fed, but today we went recliner shopping. We went to Lazy Boy. She sat in a few chairs. The salesman there was great, like sized her up and down, knew right away which model would be great for her. And we got her the best recliner, which, if you don't know, a lot of times older people get like edema in their legs. So a recliner is really important. So got that ordered. That's coming Saturday. Have a few more pictures to put up on the wall, but by and large, it's done and it's so cute, y'all. I'm not going to film Mom. I might show you clips here and there, but I'm just not going to protect her privacy. But she's happy and she loves it and she feels very safe and very cozy. And that's all I really wanted. So today was that. Did I say it's being delivered on Saturday? I probably did. And then we went to Dillard's, bless, to try to find her some clothes and a couple of bras. The Dillard's at North Point Mall. Oh my God, love you guys so much. Everyone was so sweet. But we're going to do online shopping from now on, because that was a lot for both of us. That was a lot. Okay, more words tomorrow. Love you, mean it. Hello. Okay. Just got back from Mom's and I wrote down notes for myself because I feel like I don't want to ramble in this video. I'm always like striking a balance there, right? I want to give good information. I want it to feel authentic. I want it to be dynamic and interesting for you to watch, but I also don't want to ramble. So I wrote down the order of operations for Mom's move, because I have heard from so many of you through DM in the comments who are living away from your loved one with dementia, and you're wanting to know, like, how does that even work? I can't even wrap my brain around it. I just met a woman today, in fact, that was touring at the place where Mom lives. That is her situation as well. So the number one thing we did, and we're going to do an order of operations. I don't know why I'm using math terminology when math is not my thing, but maybe math is my thing. I don't know. You never know how we were conditioned to believe that we're not good at something that maybe we're very good at. So that's a topic for another day. But here was the order of operations. So the first step for me was to chat with Mom's doctor and with my siblings. I knew she couldn't stay where she was. Oh, there's my vitamins. This video not sponsored by Ritual Vitamins, although I've done sponsorships with them before, and I suppose it's legitimate. I'll link it below. I don't even have an affiliate link for them, but this is the vitamins that I use. Sorry, I just saw that in shot. I was like, that's a weird thing to have in shot. I just reached out to them, in fact, to see if they wanted to sponsor another video. So maybe they'll see this. They'll be like, sure. Okay, so chatted with my siblings. The last time before last, when I went to visit, I started to feel that Mom's place where she was not the right fit for her for a variety of reasons. So I started having this conversation with my siblings, my brother and my sister. I knew Mom didn't like it. That was a given, but I chatted with them about, what do we think? What are the options? We floated the idea, kind of all three of us came to it at the same time, of moving Mom here to be closer to me. Yeah, Mom just has always listened to me more than my brother and sister. Nobody really knows why. That's just the way that it is. So we all felt like that was a good idea, but I was like, let me talk to her medical professionals. So after I chatted with them, we were like, yes, we think the move is a good idea. I talked to the nurse practitioner that took care of her, and she said some really good things. She gave me some great feedback. She said, number one, mom needs more social interaction than she's getting. And she is kind of going to the lowest common denominator. So a lot of people that lived where she was before were much worse off than she was. And she was sort of, code switching isn't the right term, but maybe it is. She was sort of acting like the other people, even though she really is still very intellectually in good shape. She gets confused, but she still needs lots of stimulation and lots of good conversation. The nurse practitioner really felt that where mom was not a good fit and that she needed to be moved. But the question of, is it okay to move her all the way across the country? And what she said was like such a game changer for me, because she said, Jen, here's the thing. With mom's confusion, moving her within the town where she's currently living or moving her to where you live will be the same amount of stress. The only difference will be the stress on you to like get her packed up and get her moved, and that one day of actually getting her on the airplane and moving her here. But an entirely new routine, whether that was an entirely new routine in Arizona or an entirely new routine where we are in Georgia, was going to cause her a great deal of stress. And she was like, so really either way. And she kept saying, and then Kathy with Senior Living Solutions kept kind of repeating the same thing to me. Stop getting stressed about the logistics, because you're talking about really one day. So after I had that conversation, I felt like I had the information I needed to make a good decision. I reported that back to my siblings. They were like, absolutely, this is the right call. So then we started really working on, okay, how will this work? And we had to work through the logistics of what are we going to bring? We made the group decision to literally only bring her clothes and none of her furniture, which was super interesting because mom was always really attached to her stuff, and we thought that would be really detrimental for her. She hasn't cared at all. She hasn't cared at all. Like, there is nothing in her new apartment that was in her old apartment except for a couple of pictures, and she is 100% fine with it. We went through and I quickly helped her sort through her clothes. She will need some new clothes. And we basically packed what would fit in checked bags. Now, Delta does let us check 3 bags per person. So because of my status with the airline. And so we ended up bringing 5 checked bags. I was a little worried about the travel on the day itself. She takes some medication that causes her to have to urinate frequently. So we took her off of those for a couple of days, which was a great call because that meant that wasn't an issue. I just kind of wrapped my brain around it. Thankfully, my brother and his wife were able to take us to the airport. We didn't give her a lot of advance notice, and that was from the advice of both the people at the Alzheimer's Association and her nurse practitioner. When someone has dementia, they are living in the day that they're in. You don't want to talk about things that are too far in the future because they will think it's happening right now. Like even today, if I were to tell mom that I might come back later today, she would be like ready to go all day long for me to come back later. Like, we really have to live in the moment that we're in. So I came in quickly. Like, I flew in. We had one day to pack up those 5 suitcases. My brother and sister-in-law were enormously instrumental in all of that. They cleaned out her apartment because like I knew I could only help her get her moved and then get her here. The other behind the scenes thing that happened before we ever got her here was we found the new place through Kathy with Senior Living. I've already kind of talked about that process. And I got access to her apartment a week before I left for Arizona. So I was able to order in all the furniture, like really practical things, which I don't know if this is interesting, but like we moved one of the cars out of our garage so that as I got different orders from Wayfair and things, we could put furniture together. We kind of had everything staged. Scott even said, do you want me to tape out like the space of her apartment? Because you really want to figure out furniture placement. We had gone over there and taken a ton of measurements. The place where she's at was great about all of that. But it really felt like moving one of the boys into a dorm room, right? Because you're doing all of like the making sure the bed is right, things fit. I made some mistakes. For instance, the bed was too far off the ground, so we had to adjust that. But the most important thing to me was that when she walked in, that it felt intentional, that it felt safe, that she felt welcomed. I chose colors that I knew she would like. I took a few things that have been here in my house that actually belonged to her mother and even to her grandmother, and I put those over there. There was a chair that belonged to my great-grandmother, some pictures. I put some pictures of her mom up. I put a wedding picture of hers up that she had not seen in years because I've had it here at my house. That meant a lot to her. So when she walked in, it was obvious it was her place. And the joy in her eyes when she walked in, and this was after a very long travel day and getting stuck in 2 hours of traffic coming home from the airport because of Beyonce. We love you, bae. That's fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying Atlanta traffic, it was a thing. She was just like overjoyed. Her eyes lit up. She was so happy. She felt like we were ready for her. And that was super, super important to me. It was a tremendous amount of work, but I'm so glad I did all of it ahead of time because I set it up so that we had like a week of not having to do anything. Over the last few days, we've done a little bit of shopping here and there. We just got her new recliner like I talked about yesterday. This first 2 weeks, so this is Wednesday as I'm recording this. Saturday, she will have been here 2 full weeks. So when you're seeing this, I have been over there every day. So I would say we're now like in the transition period. I don't plan on going there every single day necessarily, although she's so close and I kind of like it because like this morning I went over and we went for a walk because it was a beautiful day out. It was just really fun and nice to just go over and chat. Sometimes we put on a Hallmark movie. I took my Keurig over there because I'll make myself coffee. They have Wi-Fi so I can work from there. So most days I will be there. It's not a burden to me. Don't feel like I'm not taking care of myself. If anything, she's really helpful. And I want to end this video, the next section where we're going to talk about all of the positives and all of the things that are still so good and so wonderful and so joyful, and why having mom here was like the best, happiest decision we could have made. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Hello. Okay. So in this last clip about mom's dementia and moving here and kind of our new, very joyful life with her, I want to share kind of my own personal rules for engagement. And I started using these way before she moved here, actually when she very first started having symptoms way back when she was still living on her own and all of the things. And these are not my original ideas. I got these kind of in a combination of ways from videos here on YouTube, but also from, again, my conversations with the people at the Alzheimer's Association. So the number one rule is to meet her where she is. Whatever you get the day, well, I'm going to put it in the first person because every single family member with Alzheimer's dementia, sorry, I have a dog here who's like right in my way, is a little bit different. But I think this rule probably applies for most people. You do not know what you're going to get on any given day. I might have an angry mom. I might have a discontent mom. She actually some days has hallucinations. Hallucinations started with her pretty early on. And since she's moved into this apartment, she had a hallucination that the ceiling leaked and that there was 2 inches of water all over the floor, that she used every towel that she had to clean it up. And for a minute, I thought it had actually happened and that none of it really checked out. I checked with the caregivers. There had been no flood. And sometimes she says things that I think are hallucinations, and later on I find out they actually happened. So it's true for her, whether it actually happened or not. So sometimes you'll get that. And then a lot of days I get a very happy, joyful mom. And sometimes all of those things, angry mom, discontent mom, scared mom, she will do a lot of, when she gets really scared, there'll be a lot of crying and a lot of panic. Sometimes all of those things and it can happen on the same day. So you kind of have to be prepared for anything. So expect the unexpected has been the thing that's been the most helpful for me. And never assume that just because she had a great day yesterday or just because I saw her this morning and she was great, that doesn't mean that this afternoon she's going to be great, and vice versa. It's kind of like the weather here in Atlanta. It can change on a dime, and just always know that the moment that she's in is going to pass. whether that's a moment where she's super joyful and cheerful, or that's a moment where she's sad, or that's a moment where she's scared or whatever. She's going through all these emotions at sometimes a pretty breakneck speed. So just meet her where she is has been kind of my motto. The other thing, and anybody who has a loved one with dementia, if you don't already know this, you're quickly learning. If you want to have a happy life, you kind of have to go by, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy, right? It's a yes and proposition. And I'll give you a very tangible example right now. She has decided that she loves it here, and she's very much looking forward to buying her own home. She wants to talk about how much money she has for a down payment. When we drive around, she looks at various neighborhoods. My sister happens to be a real estate agent, so she's been talking to my sister about what she can afford in the area and different areas that she might like. Here's what I don't say, ever. Also, my sister does not say, my brother does not say, my brother-in-law does not, or my sister-in-law does not say. We don't ever say, Mom, don't be ridiculous. The whole reason you live here is because you need help and you can't live on your own. There's no way you're going to get a house. Oh, absolutely not. Instead, I try to get her to expand on it. I'm like, what are you looking for in a house? Let's make a list. Can you draw me a picture of what you want the outside to look like? Let's look at some magazines. Let's look at some pictures online. She's not going to do anything, okay? She's not actually going to go meet with a real estate agent and go look at a house. So in the beginning, I think she would say things like that we knew were not possible. And I'm talking, a couple years ago. And there was this like, well, you have to tell her that that's wrong. You really don't. Like if you've set up systems where there's no way she would actually act on it, there's no reason to argue with her. And in fact, if you argue with her, she gets agitated and you circle the drain, and it turns what could be a really fun day into like a cranky, yucky day. And so just don't do that to yourself. I just release it. I just go, okay, great. This is what she needs right now. And quite honestly, from her perspective, this is a woman who's always planned out every next phase of her life. It's got to be very weird for her psychologically to not have a next thing to plan. So if thinking about buying a home here in Atlanta is giving her something to plan, let's do it. Let's do all the things, because she never really remembers the conversations. And so we kind of start over every time. There's no harm in it. It's perfectly safe. And you just don't argue with them, no matter what they say. And the same goes true for complaints that she might have. Like some days she'll say the food was horrible. Or like the other day she said, I called and she said, they didn't give me dinner and I didn't get any of my medicine. I called the front desk. I was assured that yes, she had had her dinner and she had had her medicine. So the fact that I'm there every day really helps me verify these things, but I don't need to argue with her. So yeah, I just don't ever argue with her. The other thing is have realistic expectations. Again, going back to the days can change. She might have a super, super clear glimmer morning where like yesterday was ridiculous. Like we were talking about work stuff for me. I had a big call with a brand, and she was really encouraging me to make sure I ask for what I'm worth, to really get everything in writing, like all this great advice and encouragement. And I like ate it up. It was absolutely amazing. So have realistic expectations, but also understand sometimes I'm going to get old mom back. I'm sorry, I keep shifting back to the first person because I'm trying not to make this like trying to tell you what to do. This is just about my experience. But sometimes I get her back. And when that happens, I want to jump on it. I want to like get everything I can. I want to have the pleasant conversation. When she's scared and unhappy, she gets super, super, super self-centered. When her needs are being met, she tends to be able then to give to others and to have more of a give and take conversation. So I've learned to always take, like when she starts to get super selfish, to understand it's because she's scared. Or like can be the case if it's like a large party, she can't follow the conversation. So she makes everything about her because that's what she can track with. So if they're acting a particular way that seems like it's not matching, I don't know, if it seems particularly selfish or whatever, I've learned to really look at where are her needs not being met, because it's that hierarchy of needs. And if she's feeling like her needs aren't being met, or if she's afraid, she kind of ends up being like a toddler having a tantrum, right? Because she is feeling like no one is taking care of her. And again, from her perspective, what must that feel like? To feel kind of untethered in time and space, to really struggle with the day of the week, the month of the year. Where am I when I wake up? What time is it? She keeps asking me repetitively, what year was I born? And I've written it all down, but she doesn't always know where to find it. And it's, you know, we have some systems we still need to work out. But if you can be patient and hang in there with them, and this is why I'm so grateful that she's here, we still get so many fun moments. Like I showed her, Disney Plus has these ride-throughs right now. I hope they leave them up, of the Disneyland rides. And I showed her Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And I'm not going to show you the video, but I will show you like a still of while she was enjoying it. She was having so much fun. She said, if anybody comes over, tell them we can't come to the door right now because we're at Disneyland. Like, she was having the time of her life. We will watch a really good Hallmark together, or conversely, a really bad Hallmark movie. There was one the other day that she did not care for at all, and she let me know. So we won't be putting that one on again. And then we'll have glimmers. Like, we were driving in the car on the way back from Dillard's, and the Partridge Family song came on. Well, I guess it's a David Cassidy song, but the song I Think I Love You. And that was a song she always really liked. So it came on, and I turned it up, the 70s station on Sirius XM, if you know, you know. And she was like, I don't know this song. I'm like, Mommy, you used to love this song. She's like, I don't know this song at all. I was like, that's okay. I really like it. And it got to the echo part, because he goes, I think I love you. And then the Partridge Family comes back, I think I love you. Okay, I'm kind of butchering it. So we get to that part of the song. Girlfriend sings the echo part. She knew it. She knew the whole song. And she looked at me and she goes, oh, I guess I do know this song. And we laughed about that for a solid 5 minutes. We were walking around her neighborhood. She has this kind of forested area, and I'm working on getting her outside to walk every single day. In fact, in a little bit, I'm going to go over there and do that today. And there were some beautiful birds, and she stood there and looked at the birds for the longest time, just in complete amazement and wonderment about how beautiful the birds are. So, like, don't write them off. They are still... And you know, there will come a point with this disease where she won't be able to interact with me like this. So every moment, every glimmer, every time that we're laughing or we're watching something or we're really enjoying something, I am soaking it up. And it's why I am so, so, so grateful that we could get her here, that I found a great place for her, and that we actually can enjoy memories with her for as long as we can. And then when things are bad, I can also be here and help her and give her everything that she needs and so richly deserves. I will be talking about Mom in weekly vlogs and just as we move through things. Yes, I am curtailing my travel schedule a bit, especially now in the beginning as she's getting settled. I don't have another trip planned till the end of September. I might squeeze something in, but I probably won't, because I really do want her to get settled. If you want more on this adventure that I'm on with her, I actually have a special chat over on my Patreon that is just for those with a loved one with dementia. There's a lot of great advice over there. We have a lot of good conversations. Patreon is $7 a month. I only have one level. Great community. We actually have a live stream tonight as I'm filming this, so I would love to see you over there. And thank you to my patrons. Y'all know that when I do these videos that they're not sponsored, there's not like a lot of products, there's not affiliate marketing. The reason I'm able to produce these types of videos is because of my patrons, and it also helps that they are the best colleagues, work friends, community that I could possibly ask for. So I'd love for you to join us over there. And if you haven't subscribed yet, that's totally free. And you can just hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give this video a like. And then I promise I will have more travel videos coming. I have a great video coming up about, must-haves for travel, some things I learned these last couple of trips to Europe. So yeah, all of the things that are bringing me joy. And right now, I hope whatever you're doing, it's bringing you joy. And I cannot wait to see you in the next video.